Too. For our audiences, our next story is our top story for the day today. Over the last few hours, we've watched as multiple state agencies across the country have conducted a second wave of crackdowns against the Popular Front of India. Popular Front of India, remember, is an Islamic organization. It also has a student wing. Now, both of these organizations, the student wing and the PFI, have been in the news multiple times over the last few months. Now, the PFI saw raids on Thursday. That was the first wave of raids that we saw. More than 100 leaders were arrested in more than 10 states across the country. Today, we're seeing the second round of such raids take place. Raids have taken place in 8 states, and we're counting. These states include Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Assam, Karnataka, Delhi, Maharashtra, and Kerala. Now, according to my colleague Arunima, who tracks the Ministry of Home Affairs, what we've also learnt is that these were raids conducted after the first round of raids, and the people detained in those raids gave clues and leads for this second round. By 6 in the morning, over 170 cadre members of the PFI were detained across the country. Now, we'll bring you more details on this entire story. Right now, we have some breaking in this exact story coming in. When it comes to the state of Maharashtra, because over the last hour we've been focusing in on different states. In Maharashtra, raids have been going on since the early hours in various districts. Raids are on, and the thing is that this is particularly in areas where PFI presence is strong. My colleague Vinaya is going to bring us the details of these specific areas. Let's go over to Vinaya right now for more details. Vinaya, Maharashtra, along with, I believe, Kerala, were the 2 states that saw the largest amount of raids on Thursday in terms of just the sheer number of PFI cadre that were detained on Thursday. Could you bring us details about the raids we've seen take place today morning, since early morning?
Yes, we can see that PFI has been on the radar of the agencies for quite some time now. In fact, after the NIA raids, we have seen that simultaneously even the Maharashtra ATS had raided at several locations across the state and made arrests. In fact, just yesterday, even the ATS had made its 21st arrest in the PFI case itself late last night from Nanded. Now, the state police has also swung into action. In an early morning action, we are being told that raids are being conducted at multiple places across the state of Maharashtra. The focus is on districts which have PFI predominance. We are being told that raids are being conducted in Malegaon, in Solapur, in Nanded, and several other locations at present. There are reports as of now coming in that one person is likely detained from Solapur as well. But the information is, this is not a centralized action that is taking place. Each unit is taking its own call, and as per the field reports of predominance of PFI, raids are being conducted. So we will still have to wait.
Vinaya, just stay with us, please. I'll connect with you in a second. We're trying to bring our audiences visual updates too. So for you, we now have visuals coming in straight from Karnataka. Remember, my colleague Ritu was describing to us the kind of raids you were seeing in Karnataka, where you had a number of district presidents already be detained across the state. As you can see on your screen right now, we're also on the bottom of your screens flashing minute-by-minute updates of the raids taking place in different parts of Karnataka. Updates, as you can see, from Mangaluru and Udupi on your screens right now. Now, let's go over to my colleague Ritu to understand more in terms of details about these raids. Ritu, the visual that we're playing out for our audiences is that of a police van, but walk our audiences through the areas in Karnataka, the parts of Karnataka that have seen raids right now, and the kind of hit that the PFI has taken over the last 3 hours.
So you see, the raids are underway across Karnataka. There are the coastal belt as well. There too, more than PFI leaders are being detained by the police, and then in the different areas as well, Chamarajanagar, Udupi, at the multiple locations like Raichur, there are these districts where the raids are underway. So the raids started almost at some places in the midnight as well, and some places in the Vihar. So PFI leaders' houses have been, we've been raided, and 3 of them are still being raided. And therein, you see, most of them are also being detained by the police. Now, this all comes after the kind of participation that these detained PFI leaders had made it previously in the Karnataka. So police will now interrogate them and understand as into what kind of a background do they have, whether they were part of any kind of a riot in the past too, and how they used to instigate any kind of a violence or the protest as well across Karnataka, because we have seen a couple of communal violences in the Karnataka in the past few weeks, especially in the past 3 months that we're talking about. So we saw how hijab took over a big, huge turn as well. And there too, we saw how these organizations had played a role to instigate one or the other kind of a protest. And then later point in the Praveen Natharu murder case too, in the Shimoga as well, where the clash erupted between the two communities over the Savarkars, the poster too. So in all these cases, if you see, the police had suspected links with the PFI and the SDPI, and most of the places we also heard from the family member itself, where they had agreed, saying that one of their family member was a part of a PFI or the SDPI organization, and they used to actively take part in these the kind of activities that these organizations used to take up. But yes, now that the kind of detention that has been made from the police, we'll have to see to what kind of roles these district level leaders were, they were in part of these kind of riots or any kind of violence as well. But yes, we had seen in the couple of months how the law and peace has been disturbed in the Karnataka during these kind of communal violences, and every time there used to be one or the other big development across Karnataka, where in the one district, if some issue had erupted, this had also affected the different districts as well. Especially this point is whole that we talk about the coastal belt too. These incidents, the communal related violences are being increasing, and the state government who told that the state government will not fear from taking any kind of a model that we're discussing about, a UP model too. So the ministers and the CM Basuraj Bommai himself also told that the state will also take up more strict rule than what the UP model is. So the state will not hesitate in taking up such big steps because of these kind of incidents, because there was a mass resignations that were being tendered from the Hindu workers to especially the BJP Yuva Morcha work because of the violence and there being a risk to their themselves. So we also saw how the family members of the Praveen Natharu also spoke to CM Basuraj Bommai, requesting him to ensure that these kind of incidents do not take place in the future, and thus the state government must come up with a big decision. So there has been a discussion about the PFI organization to be banned. There has been that demand as well. But you see, on the other hand, these organizations have told that it's all a politically motivated act, and thus every time that these officials have conducted raid at their house or for that matter in their offices, the police have found no evidence. But this is all in run up to the elections, and especially the BJP party has always been in targeting the PFI and the SDPI unnecessarily when they are working on a public fund and their works have been clean, and it's only to serve the society, as these organizations have of course claimed it. But you see now the state government has come down heavily on these organizations and the leaders.
Okay, Ritu, thank you so much, particularly for in the end of your answer highlighting for us how the PFI has responded.